Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? In between the episodes, I have been relatively busy mining. We have tons of resources, and I do really mean a ton. I think that's it, yeah, 6 chests. I have also been processing a ton of resources, and I have been making a few machines. However, I'm actually running into a few problems. One of my main problems is that I don't have steam. It emptied out twice, and I think it's the lathe as well as the bending machine. I think as a temporary solution, what we're going to do is that we're just gonna add more solar boilers. 4 more to be exact. I've even set in the pipes. So now instead of having 5, we have 9. That should really keep up. Well, considering the fact that some of the machines are running, that's actually not that bad. Anyways, another problem that I have is that I continuously require circuits, and I'm just using this recipe, which is the most garbage one. So I was thinking maybe we try to make 1 stack of circuits and just call it a day, at least for a while. So here is an extra assembling machine, and I'm going to put it next to a centrifuge. In the centrifuge, we're going to process slime balls in order to get rubber as well as glue. Yeah, I have been purchasing stuff. We're not finishing quests. Yeah. We got refined glue. That's what we wanted. I just wasted some resources, but it's fine. I have 2 centrifuges, so I think it's better to put the assembler in the middle, because it takes ages to process slime balls and you don't get that much glue. Oh, and by the way, just in case you're wondering where am I getting the slime balls, well, I have planted the slime saplings. You know, the ones that we got from the slime island. It's actually not that much, I do give you that. That refined glue is going to give us a far better yield on making resistors. So instead of crafting them 1 by 1, we get 4 at a time. Exactly. As for vacuum tubes, we're also going to use another assembler. This is why we have 2 of them. And I think we have to go with circuit number 5. Oh my goodness, you messed it up. What, you jerk? What did you even craft? Oh, copper wire. Well, I can uncraft it. Yeah, with some red alloy that we have already made, we can make decent vacuum tubes. Yeah, it's 4 every time. Cool. So that does take care of most of it. It's just that I'm very low on copper. Using the machines, I have made the parts for the circuits, so there you go. For the moment, we can have 18. Don't really know what we're missing. Ah, okay. Steel casing, that's fine. So now that we have a few circuits, what is the plan? Well, the plan is to make the electronic blast furnace, so that we can process steel faster as well as making some aluminium. But just before we do that, I thought we start making a teeny tiny bit more circuits. I forgot some parts. I have so many chests. That's the problem. So obviously we can have a maximum of 16. That's great. So a total of 35. That's more great. The blast furnace has so many components, and of course we're going to start with the casing, which is made out of Invar. I think circuit number 4 with Invar rods is going to give us a frame. Yes. I should do these things manually, it's not a big deal, because the lathe takes ages. Also the machines. But that frame with some plates should give us the heat-proof machine casing. It's just that we need way more. And the only reason that I'm using the lathe is that you get a teeny tiny bit of dust back. It's like 50% of your original investment. I'm not very short on nickel, it's just that I don't really want to waste it. However, then we need to make the coil, which is also in 2 parts. It does require copper nickel wire, and it has to be 2 times. So we put you on circuit number 2 and you make me the wire? Do you give me 1 wire? Okay. That works. The other thing is that we also need something called aluminosilicate wool. It's a combination of ruby and silicon dioxide. I'll be very honest with you, I have no idea how to get it. Well, flint is a thing. If we had proper ore processing and everything was relatively fast, yeah, there could have been a lot more other options. Right now, I think we just go with sand. That is also another problem. 19 stacks. Okay. That works. Yeah, I have 2 electrolyzers. This shouldn't take that long. Oh, it takes 25 seconds. Okay. It will take some time. But in addition to everything that we have just made, there are also other parts. And the worst one, as you guys probably know, is the energy hatch. The LV energy hatch, which requires lubricant. So we need a distillery. You know, GregTech isn't that hard, it's just that everything takes time. But don't you worry, after we solve steel, at least we can speed things up by a teeny tiny bit. I don't have steel plates. What, you jerk? Well, that happens quite often, but here is our distillery, which is a quest. Thank you, thank you. No, I don't really want oil, but I guess we have to do that very soon too. I do know for a fact that you will get lubricant from creosote oil, so let's get a bunch. That's some creosote oil. Do something. Yeah? Oh, it's 24. Okay, that's a different thing. Yeah, it's working. I like the new version. You can just use buckets. I'm not saying it's better, but it saves on tanks, although we should be able to make some cells. So it does seem that my temporary solution for making steam is actually now biting me back in the face. The only machine which is now working is the distillery, and because how far it is from the other turbines, it's actually consuming a lot. So a few turbines are running at the same time, and unfortunately, we're out of steam. It doesn't even go more than 25 buckets. It's either that or there's an actual leak somewhere, which I don't think they have added that mechanic yet. Okay, at least it stopped. Yeah, you see, the steam is rising again. And that was for only 30 EU or something, so if we want to operate a blast furnace, that's not gonna cut it. We can operate it for like 5 seconds. So instead, we're going to go with a decent boiler, the solid fueled boiler. It's a teeny tiny bit expensive, but I don't think we have a choice. Yeah, you see, even I'm using normal furnaces, because I couldn't waste steam. I was just going to say that I have been a super efficient person, and in order to make the high pressure boiler, I made the screws using the cutting machine and the lathe. And then I realized when you put it inside the assembler, you don't need steel screws. So that's it. Yeah? Oh, it's MV, okay. We need that anyways. I didn't waste much. So we need a minimum of 18. That's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I also have to move the tank. Again. But look on the positive side. This time I have tons of potin. So at least the piping is gonna be less messed up. I have moved the tank by a few blocks so that we will have some space for the boiler. This is our firebox. It can be a 3x3. And for the moment, sorry. That's our boiler tanks. It can be a 3x3x2, I think. Yeah, it can be. The bad thing about this boiler is that if we run out of water, it's gonna explode. Well, I mean, if it's hot, it's out of water, then you put water inside it, then there's going to be an explosion. But for the moment, let's have a pipe connection. Is it getting water? Oh, you are getting water. No? Where's the water? Does it go from the bottom? Ah, yeah, okay. Then we can make it fancier. I do remember that the Dream Master once told me that I should not use this, but I don't remember why. But very cool. It can hold 72 buckets of water, which is great. The transfer rate is incredibly garbage, but let's heat it up. And if nothing has changed, we should be able to extract the steam from the top. It should reach 100 degrees, so it could take some time. We might also have to add more tanks, we might have to change the pipes, I'm not really sure, but let's give it a test run. I know that solar boilers get calcified, but these are not calcified. I have already switched them. I mean, replaced them. So that's not the issue, we just need more steam. The problem is the amount of fuel that you're going to waste in order to heat it up, so yeah, that's another problem. Also, if you look at the tooltips, it will tell you that each block gives you 40 liters of steam per tick. These boilers are per second, so per tick means that each block gives us like 800 millibuckets of steam. That's a ton. I mean, it should fill it in like instantly. If it heats up. Oh my goodness. I'll be right back. We're at 99 degrees. So any second we should get some steam. So far water is keeping up and we're generating a lot of steam. Wow. That's actually quite a bit. Let's use it. Let's get back to the electronic blast furnace. What we wanted to make was the coil blocks. I have made some empty cells. Let's convert it into the GregTech version. Or was it the GregTech version? Both of them are industrial craft. I'm confused. Can I take the fluid out? Yeah. Ouch. It's a hot fluid. The rest of that we can waste. So it's copper nickel. We also need the silicon dioxide. We put it inside the assembling machine and it's circuit number 3. And also we need some tin. Why isn't it working? Copper nickel. Aluminum silicate, sorry. Since I have been mining some redstone, I got some rubies which I washed and prepared. Yeah, I have 2 stacks. We don't need the dirt. Oh boy, you're slow. Oh my goodness. Okay. We don't have a choice. For each and every coil that I need to make, I need 12 aluminum silicate wool. Each one is gonna take a minute, so 12 minutes per coil, and I need 16 coils. That's in around 3 hours. So I'm gonna prepare the rest of the items that we're going to need, and then I'm just gonna AFK. I mean, I can cut it in half if I have one more alloy smelter. I mean, I do have one more. Does it work? Yeah. Oh, it gives you 2. So it's already cut in half, I suppose. In any case, we're screwed. Let's get the LV energy hatches. Because I'm assuming that's going to be the most horrifying part anyways. Oops. Another creeper. They keep teleporting down here, which is really not amazing. Come here. Come. Go back. Okay. Well, they drop ender pearls. It's always nice. I'm actually going to go eventually with 4 energy hatches because I also want to make a multi-smelter. You know, the giant furnace, it's way better than these garbage ones. I have all the material for it, the only thing that I'm missing is the lubricant. That will also take some time, and I have to change the pipes. But yeah, those are the LV energy hatches. I have been hoping that's going to be a quest somewhere. Okay, it's an optional task. I'll make the rest. I have plenty of time. I think I have done a slight miscalculation because the coils are ready. Or maybe I just didn't do a miscalculation and it has been an hour and a half later or so. Anyways, pretty soon we can get started. However, I was trying to make a maintenance hatch and I ran into a problem. The crowbar that we had was from Railcraft. I made a new one that is also from Railcraft. And for some reason that's not really acceptable, so let's try this one. It has to be blue, I suppose? Then a hammer and a file? Okay. Now we got the quest. But this worked, I could remove covers. I can have a few maintenance hatches, something broke. Oh yeah, the saw is fine. I have an extra saw. There's also some sort of a ventilator, I forgot its name. Ah yes, muffler hatch. That's for the pollution, which I have already disabled. Oops. I think in the medium voltages, some of my tool problems is going to be solved, but for the moment we do everything manually. Yeah, there you go. That's 5 of them. And that's the muffler hatch. 2 of them for the moment. I guess I just need hatches as well as the controller and that's it. So there you go. That's the controller. Where do we put it? The multi-smelter is going to take a bit longer because I don't have all the coils, but can I... High voltage. Okay. Never mind. It's actually perfect timing because I ran out of steel. Whoops. True, I just got 150 from the blast furnaces over there, but well, we didn't have a single ingot. Or maybe I just misplaced it somewhere. Oh, my furnaces. I couldn't find them, so I broke those. Wait, you can't make input buses anymore. You have to do it inside an assembler with glue. Okay, I have glue. I think for the moment we're going to assemble the blast furnace over here. Yes, I'm still making the parts. But we are going to need 4 turbines because we want it to work at MV, so 4 LVs is going to make 1 MV. It's a weird mechanic, but these are the energy hatches. We can connect it, right? Yes. It's not even hooked up to water. But here is a maintenance hatch. I believe the controller goes here. That's going to be our input bus for items. I guess an input hatch for oxygen. I'm very organized, I know. Here are the coils. We just cover it and where's the muffler? You go over there. And face upwards. So you have problems. It's actually not that good. We have to perform maintenance. It's a crowbar. I think wire cutters, basically every single tool. Do you have problems? You still have problems. What other tools do we have? Okay, so it does seem that we have problems with our circuits and we need a soldering iron. I'm not really gonna do that. We were awarded one of these duct tapes and voila, they work. Oh, thank you. So now you're fine, running fine, no problems. That's a good thing. So the other problem is that I need oxygen. I think we can get it from cassiterite, right? Yeah, that's oxygen. It's basically tin. Is this a medium voltage one? Ah, no. A wrong machine, but perfect. That's our oxygen. Well, now that we have a blast furnace and it's fully operational and we have oxygen, let's use it. So here is some iron dust, and every 25 seconds we will get a steel ingot. That is perfect. You're loud. Maybe it was always loud. I never noticed. Oh boy, this is amazing. Do you also auto input? That you don't do. It's okay. I have a conveyor belt. But yeah, now that the boiler is off, look how much steam we're consuming. Just for 1 steel ingot. The amount of steam that we're consuming is actually not that great because I cannot feed enough coal to the boiler. I mean, I can, but I can't keep it up. It's too expensive. I am going to need a ton of steel, so let's try to do something. Here is a canning machine somewhere. I just added it. I have a universal cell, and here is some graphite. Okay, we have to convert it. Thank you. That is a graphite cell, and that means here is an arc furnace. I have been reading the quest book and it does seem there is a better way of making steel at this age. Using wrought iron, this is why I made an arc furnace. However, the arc furnace does require 3 amps in order to function, so here are 2 turbines. I need 1 more. I hate cables. But yeah, 3 turbines. There's not a 3 times tin cable, is there? No, it's okay. We go with 4 times. I can make wrought iron using nuggets, but that takes ages. Ouch. I have assembled the arc furnace, I have hooked it up to power, and let's get some iron. I don't know, we take 2 stacks. that's also going to consume a ton of steam, but it's going to be done way faster. So I don't know, I think overall it's going to be worth it. Let's check. I guess you stop. I don't think I can run both of them at the same time. Here is some oxygen and iron. That's actually not that bad. If this one shuts down, we will know if we are losing steam or not. Hey, these are early game problems. They will be solved. We're not losing steam. Okay, I keep burning myself. We remove that one. Also, the arc furnace is great because it will give us annealed copper, and that gives us a better yield for making circuits. I do have a few ideas to keep the boiler running for a while, but first things first. Let's check the wrought iron recipe for steel. It's just that instead of iron dust, we put wrought iron dust. And it also requires oxygen. With wrought iron, it takes 5 seconds. Because for what I want to do, I actually do need to have, I don't know, 1000 steel ingots or something. I can live with this one. It's just that I'm out of iron, I guess. And not totally out of iron, we have the raw ore, but we have to process everything. Pyrite. Pyrite is nice. So it's been a while later, and yes, we're at year 2, day 1. So happy New Year's Eve. I think it was last night, I skipped it, sorry. So here's the deal. The boiler doesn't have to run constantly. It has to run constantly when the blast furnace is running constantly, and for very long periods of time. For making steel, using wrought iron, we don't need the boiler. However, what I have done is that I have assembled 12 coke ovens, and they're making us charcoal. That charcoal is being compressed into blocks of charcoal, which later on we can use in order to boost our steam production. It's slow, but it will do. However, when I was reading the quest line, I also noticed that creosote oil that we're getting is also incredibly useful. So there are these semi-fluid generators, and one of them accepts creosote oil. And one bucket gives you 48,000 EU. I'm actually using one over here to operate a compressor. That's actually quite decent. We will have a buffer for creosote oil, and maybe we can use more of those generators in our base to substitute the power as well. And yes, the semi-fluid generator requires a cobalt cable. Thankfully, right now we can smelt down cobalt in the electronic blast furnace, and it takes like 75 seconds, which is ages. But I just needed one cable. But yeah, that's basically the plan. We give it wood, we get charcoal. Whenever we need a higher production rate of steam, we will put the charcoal inside the boiler. In the boiler from Railcraft, the charcoal doesn't actually last that long. Let's get a block. Also, this is still hot. It was like 500 degrees. Okay, I take it back. Maybe it does last quite a while. But basically, once we get the bronze boiler, that will last for 20 seconds, and it will give us like 16 buckets of steam per second or per tick. Yeah, 16 buckets per second with one coal. So that one is actually quite nice. But just in case you're wondering, yeah, that's also one of the quests. They wanted us to go with 10. I just have 12. It's 4 rows. Anyways, I think right now we should focus on a bit of quality of life improvements. I think there are a few new changes in the mod pack. Let's try some of them. So do you remember these macerators? Well, they take like half a minute in order to process 8 items. Obviously, if it's an ore, if it's something else, it takes less time. But yeah, it's half a minute. So there is a way of improving that, and that is the main reason that I wanted steel. Because once you look at the tooltips on the steam grinder, it will tell you that processing speed and steam consumption is doubled under high pressure. I didn't know what's high pressure, but I think I have an idea. Apparently the only thing that we have to do is to switch the casings from bronze to steel. Yeah. Now it's high pressure. I used most of my steel rods in order to make motors, in order to make conveyor belts. But let's check the performance on this one, and if it's great, we do it with the other one as well. Oh, it's 16 seconds. That's quite nice. I mean, I was expecting that, but this is great. It's 800 liters of steam per second. It's not much. We can easily do that. Personally, I think it's really worth it. Because until we get to the high voltage age, this is the best method, right? I have upgraded the second macerator as well, and then I got to thinking, because I kind of recycled a lot of these bronze plated bricks, right? So I was thinking maybe we should make the centrifuge too. You know, there is this multi-block centrifuge which we can make in the steam age, and it also goes to high pressure. And when I was looking at the recipe, I was like, okay, you need bronze pipe casings. That's quite expensive. You need the gearbox casing, which is surprisingly expensive. And then I was like, okay, if I'm investing that much time and effort in it, let's make it high pressure. This could be a bust, but if it works the way that I think it will, it's gonna be super amazing. Oh, and yes, there are a few things that we need to do. So, I still don't know how to crush obsidian. So if we want to make tanks, we're going to go with this strengthened glass. It's just tin and saltpeter, and we have tons of both. I actually think, yeah, we do. It also does require molten glass. Yeah, sand is the MV recipe. The LV is just quartzite. How do you get that? Isn't this the one we get in the nether? It's the one that we get from the nether. Is there more? I have been mining a Certus quartz vein. Okay, there's a bit more. I think that will do. Well, I had just above 2 stacks of quartzite and, well, this is gonna take ages, but at least each iteration gives us 6 glass. And that essentially means that I'm going to get 6 tanks. So that's a good thing. While that is being prepared, let's try to get the rest of the garbage. I have an extra tank, I just don't know where it is. And I think in the future we're going to need more tanks anyways. This I think is the most expensive part. I need like 16 gears. That's already like 2 stacks of steel. Don't break, please. What a jerk. Oh, I have another one. So that is off the list. 4 pipe casings. So that's also off the list. You are not that bad. And it's only 3. Okay. We already have everything. And if I have not done anything wrong, we just need 65 machine casing and that's it. Well, that's 4. We wait for the rest. I have some steel. There should be more. Don't you worry. I'm also making more. Oh, we got the glass. Yes, 6 of them. One of my worst problems in life is that I do have a garbage memory and there is a mob up there somewhere. Yes, it's very true that we don't have steel, but I have not dismantled those guys yet. There could be a teeny tiny bit left. How much? 20. Okay, this one has 60. This one has 20. And in around 40 minutes, we will get 10 more. I'm joking. We will have way more. But this is also decent. It's almost 100. It is 100. Because I do have a feeling I need like 300 more steel ingots and well, that's already 1/3 of that. And yes, I do have the dust, but it's not worth converting it. Takes a ton of steam. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, it has been a while later and yes, we do have the centrifuge and it has been functioning for a while. I have been exploring. Well, first off, this is an amazing machine, so it's gonna be here for a while and look at the results. And secondly, yes, I do agree with you, it was a huge waste of steel. But later on, even if we don't need this machine, we can recycle the casings or even we can use them for other multi-blocks. And yes, accidentally I also found a hungry node. I thought it's a meteor or something at first. It's a good thing I realized early. Anyways, moving on, well, I did manage to find the scoop. I don't really remember where, but as a quest reward, I also got a golden lasso. So one of the things that I have done is that I have made myself 8 miner's backpack. This is from forestry, it's not very expensive, and basically whenever you're harvesting ores and you walk over it, it's gonna pick it up automatically. So these are actually quite nice. The problem is that they only have 15 slots. There is a method of upgrading it, but that requires woven silk, which can come from different bees, but I also found an apiarist. That's where the golden lasso came in. He was the first villager I found and his first trait was the silky comb. The problem is that his second trait is kind of expensive, so we can't really abuse it in order to get silky combs. So this is something that I'm never ever gonna finish this episode or the next one or maybe even the next one, but we might as well start working on bees. We need 1 piece of wool. We have 10. That's good. Anyways, let's make a few scoops, because I need to go on one more adventure, and that should be a quest. Thank you. And we do need to find some hives. It's telling us that we will find it in the jungle, but it was not there. It's called garden. It doesn't show you the biome on the journey map, but it's perfectly fine. We will move towards the village and the hungry node. I have actually marked it because I do go to that village a lot and I just walk past in front of it. Just in case you didn't know, the hungry node is like a black hole. It will suck you in, it will kill you, and it can also destroy your grave. Or at least that's something which used to happen, but yeah, you can see it. It's destroying everything. Yeah, well, the more it eats, the more powerful it's going to be. Is it just me, or beehives are a bit rare in this mod pack? Yeah, they're a bit rare, but that's one. It's tropical. I think that's the one that we want. Yeah, thank you for the quest. They gave me the wrong address. I was sure you would find these guys in swamps, but the quest book tells you that you have to look in jungles. Okay, so we have a teeny tiny bit of a problem. So bees are biome dependent, right? It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too wet, it's too dry, etc. So our base is over here. The biome that I found which is compatible is a bamboo forest on top of a mountain, literally. But they're working and they do give us the honeycomb. It's not much. They do also poison you, which is not great. And I have not crafted a single frame. They were all quest rewards. Actually, I have crafted some. Yeah, I crafted like 5. The rest of them are quest rewards. So this can kind of work. The problem is that I can't really load chunks. We have to come here AFK for a while. I really need that woven silk. It's great for mining. But as I have already mentioned, it's not something that we can do in 1 or 2 or even 3 episodes. It's a long process. But that brings us to our next quality of life improvement. Apparently there is a jetpack. That jetpack does require a few batteries, so we need the battery alloy. That's a combination of lead and antimony. Where's my alloy furnace? Oh boy, you're slow. Oh, there is a mixer recipe too. That's not that bad. Yeah, we leave it like this for the moment. I don't need that much. It's not a really grindy process in order to make the jetpack. The problem is the diamond plate. It takes 6 minutes just to cut it. Are you kidding me? You're still not done? Okay, 10 more seconds. You know, when I put the diamond block inside, I didn't even notice it's working. Okay, we got it. There's also a glowstone that I have to cut. This one is thankfully way faster, 10 seconds. So here is our diamond chestplate. Is that a quest? Probably not. And that is our jetpack. That should be a quest. Come on. Yeah, I did make it. I have the battery on me. There is another quest, yes. This one. Okay, so basically I just want the quest to count, and for some reason I did not hold all the parts in my inventory when I was making the batteries, even though I have 7 on me. I think some tin wires should solve the problem, right? Oh no, antimony. Why does it have to be the ingot? It's a bit of a technical issue. Let me smelt some antimony, I'll be right back. How many is that? And finally, I think I have managed to solve the problem. So I have also made an electrotine generator. Don't really know how it works. Okay, you give it electrotine. How do you charge? Oh, you need a charger. Okay. It's fine. We just need 1 more diamond block. We're done. We got 6. You know, this is a very old mod, but I have never ever used it. Because in normal mod packs, you have like way better options. Why would you use electrotine? And please, give me the charging station. Thank you. There is also a solar panel for this, but I have already made the generator. So if we provide some electrotine to the generator, we get power. That goes inside the charging bench and I can charge my jetpack. Maybe. That's actually not that bad. Can I fly? Whoa. And it ran out. I think that will only last for like 10 seconds of flight, but I guess it's good for the glider. Because you can just go up and then move. It does have a height limit though. Yeah, I don't really think it's that bad. If you have been playing the recent version of this mod pack, one of the things that you might notice is that it always tells you you're AFK once you have paused the game. No, but that's not the issue. You might notice that this jetpack is not that amazing. It literally provides you with like 10-12 seconds of flight time. And that's it. But for me, it's actually quite nice. I'm actually stuck inside some sort of a crater, meaning that anywhere that you look, there is a mountain. So at least for getting out of this place, it's actually quite nice. And I can also reach my B area with 1 charge. I did actually try it once. And yeah, I also made an extra battery, but it doesn't really charge the jetpack. I charged the battery, it just doesn't work. And I have just reached the hives. We have 36% left. Can't really complain, but it does have a height limit and that is 120 blocks. So you can't really go higher than that. But as I have already mentioned, there's also a solar panel. Let's claim it. So if I go on exploration, I can just take the solar panel, the charging station, and we're good. I think. Anywho, that's not very important, but one extra machine that I have made is the polarizer. That is going to provide us with the magnetic steel ingots, and if we have 22 steel ingots, I can actually make a magnet. The dislocator doesn't take ages, which is quite nice. I think I also need, yeah, a lithium battery. How do you get lithium? I think I have been making lithium. Yes, we have 9. Long story short, that is our item dislocator. It does work and it doesn't require power, so that's great. However, for our jetpack, I also think I got a solution. There is something called a battery box. That could be a huge waste. And if I'm not totally wrong, yeah, that's a huge buffer and it could charge my jetpack relatively fast. So I can take that one on explorations. It's not a big deal. Another problem that I have is that I need a crazy supply of steel in order to get to the medium voltage age. And yes, the wrought iron solution is good for short term, but it does require my constant attention. And also it does require a bit of resources and manual work. Those guys, on the other hand, they don't require any manual work. Meaning that you just provide them with some coal coke, you give it some iron, and you will get steel. It's very slow, but if we multiply them, then it's not going to be that bad. It takes one of them 40 minutes in order to give you 10 steel, so that's going to be 1 steel ingot every 4 minutes. On average, obviously, but if we have 4 of them, that's going to be 1 steel ingot per minute, and that's basically the same rate as an electronic blast furnace. However, since those guys are incredibly cheap, we can even have 10 of them. That's going to be a steel ingot every 25 seconds, on average. There is going to be a teeny tiny bit of grind involved. So first let's talk about the blast furnaces, because that's the hardest part. We need concrete. And I also need concrete because when you walk on them, you actually walk faster. So let's automate concrete. As a byproduct of those coke ovens, we are getting creosote oil. I'm actually going to use that in order to automate concrete for power. I have made a bit of tumbaga. I don't know. You make me rods, you make me plates. That takes longer. We also have some cobalt in the kitchen. That's a weird sentence. We need it in order to make the generators. I think it's circuit number 1. Just cook cobalt. Nice. Takes a long time. And first, let us check how do we make concrete. We need a mixer and we need a fluid solidifier. Actually, the solidifier I have already made. The mixer we can easily make. And then let me try to make some of these semi-fluid generators. It does require Tumbaga gear. That's why I had to make some. But probably that's enough. Automating concrete is surprisingly easy, and well, just for fanciness, I do have a ultra low voltage chest, because you know, it looks like the machine, so why not? And I do have a tank as a buffer. We do have the mixer, I'm giving it the ingredients, and it does make us wet concrete. It does go inside the tank, which is our buffer, and we're also making blocks of concrete. Using the solidifier, obviously. I also have a railcraft tank up there, but since it's incredibly slow, I'm also using water cells for the moment. And the best news is, we don't really have to craft the bricks like this, we can just put it inside the assembler. Oh, and I forgot to mention the most important thing, I'm actually using creosote oil in order to generate power over here. There is a pipe there, and there are 2 generators, semi-fluid generators. I was making some bricks in order to fix my house. I used them all. It's okay. I can craft more. So that does take care of fire bricks, although I still have to craft them, but there's one more component. I think you would be able to make steel using charcoal. Let's check. Yes, you can. You just need more charcoal. However, it seems that there is a better way. There is another coke oven. It's called the advanced coke oven. It's slightly bigger, but every second it gives you a cold coke. However, in order to make it, we need a few gizmos. So we need 68 nether bricks and we need to cook them inside the blast furnace to make them hot. It's circuit number 1 with oxygen. Okay, here is oxygen. I need 4 more cells. There you go. And it doesn't take that long. Okay, that's good. Well, 68 times half a minute is half an hour? Am I correct? Okay, we get the hot nether rack. 67 more to go. Now, the nether brick is going to be hot. We need to cool it down. A vacuum freezer would have been amazing. Is it? No, of course it's not gonna happen. So we need 2 things, the chemical bath and some IC2 coolant. I don't know why the recipe requires conveyor belts. It's a chemical bath, you would expect pumps. I'm not that picky. Pumps are actually a pain to make. So, conveyor belt. And that is a chemical bath. So now we also need to make IC2 coolant. That's not how you would make that. That's not how you make that. Yeah, a mixer. Lapis dust. That is lapis dust. We should have more. And I guess we make it in the kitchen. Oh, MV. Okay, so my calculation was wrong. It's around 40 minutes to make the hot bricks. Another thing is that, yes, you do need to be at medium voltages in order to make IC2 coolants, but there's a cheaty way. So this fluid solid canning machine, this is from actual IC2, which thankfully you can actually make it using the other 2 machines, and well, I crafted it. However, for some reason it is connected to power, but it was not getting any power, so I'm using a battery. And I do have a charger. You know, you can just drop hot things in water. It will be fine. It's not fusion or fission, it's just hot. But anyways, it's a bit complicated. I'm pumping in water from the top, and I'm getting the coolant in the bottom, and yes, it does work. Infernal brick. I made a bit extra, the machine broke down, so we just have to wait and then take the hot coolant out. It's gonna take a while, and yes, I made a mess, but it does work. So we do have a decent supply of fire clay, that's not an issue, and I'm already cooking it, don't you worry. Also, I only have like 1 pump, so I'm using it between the tanks. So I guess from now on it's just a matter of crafting everything. Let me do that and I'll be right back. There's not much to do. This is hot. I knew that. It doesn't really burn you that often though. I just got the quests. I was emptying the glue. Anyways, let me craft everything I'll be right back. My fellow Dark Ones, it has been a while later, and yes, we have 10 blast furnaces and also the Infernal Furnace. It's actually not called the Infernal Furnace, I put down concrete so that I can walk faster and then I move on dirt. I'm weird. But this machine is just amazing. Look how fast it works. Just look. It's making us a block of coal coke. It's great. Really great. I have saved on a ton of bricks by sharing walls, which is not something that I like to do, but this is okay. Because it's a temporary setup anyways, but with this setup we're getting steel ingots every 25 seconds in average. Also, in between the cutscenes I have done a few other stuff. I received a very important comment that, hey Lush, make the slime boots. I was under the impression that this was introduced in 1.10 Tinkers and not in 1.7. And yeah, I think it's a backport, or I don't know what you call it, but it's not as amazing as you would think. First off, it takes durability damage. Also the sling. Secondly, the sling is just like this, and that's it. And also the bounciness is not as great as you would think. I do really appreciate the recommendation though, but yeah, flippers are better. I mean, despite the issues that it has, I would have crafted it as well. Oh, and by the way, most importantly, I made myself a toolbox. And yes, I also made a soldering iron using Damascus steel. We just got a few ingots, we even have 2 stainless steel. The toolbox is great because first off, it holds all of our items inside one box, and we don't need duct tapes anymore, we just have to do this. It will perform maintenance. And the final thing that I did is that I made 24 ingots of aluminium. That is a quest. You just needed 8, I made 24, we had enough aluminium in the Tinker's smeltery. It's a bit of a weird mechanic, you need to cast out some sort of an aluminium ingot like so, which doesn't even look like an ingot, and then you just cook it. I didn't cook it with nitrogen, I didn't have nitrogen. Oh, that's alumite. That was the aluminium. I only had 1 ingot left. It's okay. Also, before we move on to our next project, there is one more important thing that I wanted to mention. In the comments section of the last episode, somebody said, don't use bricks for your house. Gazing to my eyes. Mesmerizing, aren't they? Never question my choice of blocks. No, he's actually quite right. I'm going through clay like crazy, and well, there's not even enough clay around our base. I don't think you can find a single block of clay in this area. So he is absolutely right, we kind of have to change our block palette. And I was thinking of 2 things. One of them is that there is a brand new concrete, and to be honest with you, it's very cheap. It just needs like 2 clay, gives you 8 blocks. And of course, as usual, we have Aegon. Other blocks are just not gonna happen for like 300 hours or something. So I guess you guys make the choice. Do we go with Aegon, do we go with concrete, or do we go with both? A combination of both. That is not a decision that we have to make immediately, because even if I want to use Aegon, I have to wait until the medium voltage age. Not just the age, even the machines and some resources. We will hit the medium voltage age next episode, and we will probably have the machines by the next one. However, talking about your comments, somebody actually left me a very important one. You know, I'm struggling with furnaces, and I kind of forgot there is an oven from Railcraft. I didn't have to make those. Yeah, I'm an idiot, we already have the furnaces. I actually recycled some huge steel pipes. I got them as a quest reward. So yes, as I have been saying, there is an oven from Railcraft. It's a bit expensive, but I guess we are going to use it until the high voltage age. It's gonna be, I don't know, 50 hours, 60 hours from now. It's gonna help me a lot. And the reason that I'm mentioning this is going to help me a lot is that, well, I'm doing proper ore processing. So I don't really smelt the ores, I double them, I centrifuge them, and then I have to cook them. Basically, if you go through my chests, the only things that you will see, for example, is copper dust. I actually have to make an effort in order to make the copper ingot. This is great. It does smelt 9 items at the same time. And yes, we're going to have 2 of them because it's a 2x2 and everything should have a center. Also, talking about tips, I received another amazing one. So when you want to make copper wires or any wires, it takes that long, right? Well, that was the wrong one, but you get the gist. Apparently, if we put the circuit to number 16, it more or less takes the same amount of time, maybe a teeny tiny bit longer, but you just get 16 wires at the same time, which is great. Before we wrap up today's episode, I had a plan, but my plan kind of changed. This is actually my boo-boo, but I used to think that in order to get to the medium voltage age, what you need to do is that you need to finish oil processing. You know, this quest line over here. But as it turns out, I was just looking at the wrong recipe. We can get to the medium voltage age now. Not now, in a few hours. So I'm sorry this could be a teeny tiny bit of a longer episode, but let's get over with this. I have some arsenic. I went to the Twilight Forest, somebody dropped it. Okay, I have tiny pile. Oops. Yeah, I wasn't very lucky, but there's another way of getting arsenic, which is the proper way of doing that. There's a small ore in the nether, which we only got 10 of that. It's called realgar. If we centrifuge it, there's a chance of getting more, so let's do that. Yeah, it takes 17 seconds, that's good. Do we get an extra one? Maybe? No. I wasn't very lucky. But if we centrifuge it one more time, that should give us the arsenic. Perfect. Now we need gallium, and I know for a fact that I actually have a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, a decent amount. Yeah, that's gallium. Gallium and arsenide in the blast furnace gives us the gallium arsenide crystal, which we have to smash. I think. Yeah, it takes 4 seconds. It should give us a few piles. So that is the dust, we need the small pile. And that's exactly what we need in order to make diodes. If we process oil and get some polyethylene, it's going to be way more efficient, but it's a long journey. I just want a few circuits, that's it. That's annealed copper, by the way. So that gallium arsenide with some fine copper wire is going to give us the diodes, right? Come on. Well, that could take some time, but in the meantime, we also need some chlorine, and we get that from salt or rock salt. That is rock salt. I do need to make new circuit boards, that is the problem. But yeah, that's our chlorine. Did I get the diode? Thank you. We need 8. It's just that with this recipe, it doesn't work with annealed copper, it works only with copper. It's literally the most garbage recipe, but it's fine. We don't need that much. Anyways, let me try to get some of the items that we need. I'll be right back. I am not actually done, but this is just a very small progress update. I'm making some hydrochloric acid. I'm even electrolyzing some water cells in order to get the hydrogen I need. We don't really have a good infrastructure for this, but it will do. I just want a circuit assembler. And for that I need like 2 circuits, that's it. And yes, I have already made the emitter, the sensor, I have made tons of brass. And it's not a humongous amount, but I think I did manage to make like half a stack of circuits or something. I was wrong, 17. Why 17? Ah, wires, yes. It's okay, we will buy the wires. Now we have 21. Oh, actually, I consumed some of them in order to make the sensor and the emitter. Okay, that makes sense. That was just an update. I'll be back soon. We're close. Don't really blame me. This modpack has like 4 million recipes in it, and sometimes you miss something. We don't need the iron 3 chloride. There's a crafting recipe. It's a bit more expensive, but it works. Thank you. Now we can have the good circuit board. I think. I'm lazy to cut casings, we just do it over here, and that is the good electronic circuit. Should we make 4? Why not? Thank you. Give me a trophy. Actually, that was the main point. So we got the good electronic circuit, which is the MV circuit. Now we need to go through the rabbit hole of making extra stuff. So wait a minute, I can be in the MV age in like 10 minutes? I already made the aluminium, I was not expecting to use it. Where did I put it? Maybe 15 minutes. Until I find the aluminium. Ah yes, it's here. So if I'm not wrong, we need to have 10 just to unlock the MVH, that's it. Aluminium is amazing for the bending machine and lathe. It's such a soft thing. We're going to achieve this on day 77 of year 2. Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, our circuit assembler. Thank you for the quest. So that's going to make circuits a lot cheaper, but let's also make the casing. We can, right? I mean, I know we can, it's just that there's nothing else, right? Yeah, I don't think so. That's the hole. Oops. It's actually not a big deal. I can't make the cables. Can I buy the cables? No, probably not. You can do that after you unlock something. That's not a big deal. Don't you worry. I'll make it. Yeah, I told you it's not a big deal. We can easily make rubber. And voila. That is the MV machine hall. Lovely. We're at the MV age. Did we get a loot bag? Why is it LV? Well, who cares? I'm actually happy. I love this church. Although I don't really think, yeah, you need stainless steel in order to do that. And you need EV circuits. Okay. Well, welcome to the medium voltage age, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.